is good. But you are too emotional.
So the DNC Cringe Fest, that was amazing. Amazing. So this is the two things I've learned from watching the bits and pieces that I have. I haven't watched the whole thing of it because it got so irritating I just could not finish. I did watch the Billy Porter music video, and it reminded me of that master meme from Russia. I just came to sing a song. I'll link it in the description because it's so cringeworthy. I share it with everyone. It's amazing. It reminds me of that song. It really does. But anyways, the DNC, I think their platform, from everything I saw, was America's divided and it's Trump's fault. BLM and Antifa rose up during Obama. This Marxist intersectional nonsense has been infiltrating schools for the last 20 years, but somehow it is all Trump's fault at this point. It has to be Trump's fault. So it's no coincidence that the devil in the Church of Intersectionality is a straight white male. Trump happens to be a straight white male. So, of course, he sits in the highest body of power as well. And since they're Marxist, anybody that has power should be dethroned, and if they're a straight white male, doubly so. So that would make sense that they would make him his devil. So, first policy in the Cringe Fest is Orange Man bad. Okay, that's a good policy. Love it. Let's move on to the next policy. And you can see why I followed the Walk Away campaign in a second. Second policy. We're going to fix the systemic racism in this country. How? Identify it.
My friend, stop all this talk. Teach him a lesson.
Cops are racist. We can stop there. We can go there. You know, cops are racist. Clearly, this is what they all say on that left side. All cops are bastards, stuff like that. Right? That is their platform. Insult, insult, insult. Okay, well, all cops are bastards. Let's roll with that. Really? Who was it you called when you got ran over by a random guy that you tried to assault in their car? Was it 911? Pretty sure I heard somebody say, hey, call 911. So you called the cops. All cops are bastards. Why'd you call them? Aren't you supposed to solve this yourself, you little commie sons of bitches? Ken and Karen come out of their house when you trespass onto their property with weapons and said, get the fuck off their lawn. Who'd you call? Oh, that's right. You called the police. Right. All cops are bastards. Okay, so all cops are bastards except for when you need them, and you only care when a white cop kills a black man. As if the black man is totally innocent. We know that George Floyd was not totally innocent. The dude was high as a fucking kite, resisted arrest, fought with the cops for about 5 minutes before he had a knee dropped on his neck and left there for 8. Still shouldn't have happened, by the way. That should have just left him on the ground. Clearly, he just wanted to be there. They didn't have to pin him to the ground because he probably wouldn't have moved anyways. But the dude was high as shit. Well, guess what? Their brothers came on the DNC to talk about systemic racism, how it's unfortunate. Where were they when their brother was being a drug addict? I have family that were drug addicts. It's extremely difficult to make them stop. But 2 things need to happen. Remove them from the environment where they get the drugs from, and the people they call friends. If you can remove both of those from their environment, then they stand a chance to be rehabilitated. They also need a new purpose. And whatever reason they decided to go down the drug path in the first place also needs to be addressed, because you don't do drugs unless there's something you want to kill. In yourself, that is. something in your past, something that makes you depressed, that type of thing. You use drugs to squash the emotions you don't want to deal with. Same with drinking, actually, for the most part. There's something that you don't want to deal with, so instead of doing what's right and trying to fight that thing, you crawl into a hole. Or in some cases, crawl into a bottle. Or crawl into a baggie full of meth. Anyways, I digress. That cringe fest policy said they're going to defeat racism. All cops are bastards. So, those are platitudes. Those aren't policies. What are you going to do? Defund the police. Okay, well, there's a policy. A very bad one, because when you do that, crime goes up. How do we know? A bunch of places just defunded the police. What happened? Please, all citizens, just do what the criminal says so you don't lose your life. Just give them your wallet and everything. We're not coming out. There's nothing we can do. That's the new cop policy. That's it. Don't defend yourself. Be a victim, please. You probably won't get your stuff back, but it's a lot better than losing your life. And there's going to be a lot more of it. We expect it. So just roll over. Oh, by the way, if they try to rape you, yeah, they're going to get away with that too. Nothing we can do. We can't prove it was rape. Because we're not going to even attest you, because shit, we can't make those testing kits anymore. We've been defunded. Yeah, so sorry for being raped. Yeah, I'm going there. Oh, and your kids were murdered in the middle of the street. Sorry. We might arrest that guy if we get around to it. I mean, we only have 3 officers, so we're kind of swamped. Yeah. So, yeah, good policy. Good policy there. Loving that policy. What other policy did we know of? Well, there was the Orange Man bad, so everything is Trump's fault, and we're going to fix it. Oh, yes, America is divided. Yes, that's my favorite policy, that the division of the nation is also Trump's fault. Yes, don't forget, it's completely Trump's fault, because under Trump's America, we have never been more divided. Yeah, how does that work exactly? Divided how? I'd actually have to agree with this sentiment. We are divided. We have communists and socialists wanting to bring about the utopian dream, and there are Marxists with racial policies that want to bring back segregation, want to bring back hiring based on ethnicity. They want to bring all that back into corporate America, and they're succeeding, because there are companies out there that are putting diversity and inclusion counselors into their hiring practices. If things go the way I think they will at the end of the year, I'll expose one of those people, because I have no problem doing so.
How dare you challenge me with your so-called kung fu? You don't have a chance.
Right? So, divided. We're divided more than ever. Well, when you do a 180 on civil rights in general, women's liberation, civil rights, lumping them all together. When you do a 180 on those things and start preaching that race matters, that racial identity is important, you kind of make a dividing line now, don't you? Yeah. Who made that dividing line? Was it Trump? Because these movements, these feelings, these racist pieces of shit, they've been around for 15 plus years. BLM started in Obama. The Marxists and the cultural Marxists have been pumping out critical race theory for 20 years. And intersectional critical theory. You have to make it intersectional, so all things connect. Bigger groups. Because you can only think in a group. You can't think in individuals. Which, by the way, violates the law of averages, but we don't care about that either, apparently. No, it's definitely divided between commies and socialists and individualists. That's the dividing line. America's founding principle, I guess, being an American, individualism used to be the top thing. You can become anything you want to be if you try hard enough, if you work hard enough. Not necessarily true, because there are people that can accomplish certain things. You can't be an astronaut, for an example, unless you have the aptitude to be one. But then again, they sent a monkey into space, so I guess anything's possible, right? Yeah. Anything's possible within your ability. I think that's probably the best way to put it. Which is true. I used to live on the street. I never graduated high school, but here I am with a PhD and a house. I did it. Why can't anyone else? I don't usually like talking about it, but happen to be above average intelligence, supposedly, whatever the fuck that means. It's something that we can measure equivocally, and it's kind of nice. But even intelligent people can be stupid in other areas, arrogant, misguided. It's pretty amazing and annoying, to say the least. But yeah, I see that dividing line. So we got three policies that I know of. America's divided. Okay, true. How are you going to fix it? How are you going to fix it? America's divided. We'll fix it by defeating Trump. No, you won't. You'll embolden and empower Black Lives Matter. There'll be more murals in the street. You'll offend a swath of white people, because only white people can be racist in your mind. You got to go back to that critical race theory bullshit. See, it's divided because of you, Democrats. Because of you. Those that support the Democratic Party, still, you need to realize something. You are supporting the very shit that they're talking about. America's been more divided now than ever. Who did the dividing, motherfuckers? Wasn't Trump. Trump's a symptom of that shit. He came in because everyone's sick of your shit. And you put up Hillary of all fucking people. And now Joe Biden of all fucking people. Well, Kamala Harris. Jesus Christ, what a great VP pick that was. America's more divided. Oh, and systemic racism is real. Really. For every law and everything that's gone into play to counter racism, you think bringing racism back into policy will counter racism. So there's an old proverb you might have heard of: an eye for an eye leaves the world blind. So you're essentially saying, well, racism, we counter racism with more racism, and that'll negate racism.
I am dumbfounded.
Okay. Yeah, I'd buy that for $1. Yeah, and then your most important policy ever is Orange Man bad. 3 years of a Russian investigation, no collusion, no obstruction. Ukraine investigation, no collusion, no obstruction. You impeached him anyways on no collusion, no obstruction, no law broken. Their defense: where's the broken law? Point to me where the law was broken. I don't know what to tell you guys. You done fucked up, and I'm so proud of myself for walking away from the Democrats, because whatever the fuck the DNC's doing now, I make better videos than that, and I've never done this until a few years ago. So I'm a noob, and you guys just made me look good. I so appreciate it. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, pass this guy around, and I'll see you next time.
Very soon, something really important will happen.